We are back with Limitless Nerd, the first episode of year two, the first episode post Rebel Scum Con, the first episode back from everything, it feels like. And we got the man, the GOAT, John from TheeBobaFett, Clan Fett. Man, how are you?
We're good, man. We are blessed to be here. Woke up today, my man. So stoked to be around and to be talking Star Wars with you.
Hey, I feel like we yap about Star Wars all the time anyway, so it was long overdue for you to be on the show. But I want to start asking you, just where did your Star Wars journey? Where did it start?
Yeah. I mean, I think the biggest thing when I was a kid, like I watched, the original trilogy with my dad. Like that was something that he watched. So it's like, I remember watching, um, Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi and all that good stuff. And then myself personally, as I got a little bit old, I say a little bit older, I was still like in my youngins. But I got my first Lego set, which was this guy.
Oh yeah,
And it was the speeder from Attack of the Clones, where Anakin goes out and massacres all the Tuskens. Uh, but that was my first like Lego set and my first kind of hobby that I got into. And then as I got older, I didn't really have any friends or anything that were into Star Wars. Like all my buddies, like I can go talk football, I can go talk like everything else. But like some of them, I think they've seen the movies. Like I'm pretty sure they enjoy it. But I can't have that same conversation with them. So I never really got into it. So as I was growing up, it was always just like my secret hobby. Like it was like my closet thing,
yeah,
where it was like, yeah, I'm a Star Wars fan, but like I never really fully embraced it. But I always loved it. And like growing up, seeing Revenge of the Sith when it came out, and being in a movie theater watching, Hayden and Obi-Wan and the final duel, and Anakin on fire, and like, I'm six, like how old was I? It doesn't matter. But kid me sitting there watching Anakin just like burn, and it was
yeah,
like, whoa, like, traumatic for different, different reasons. But it just got me sucked in even more. And then, like I talk about, I remember being like in elementary school, walking around the playground and like doing the whole like pretending to be, like
yep,
Vader after the turn, and like doing all that good stuff. So like, it was always the fandom was always there. And then like I was just never really outward with it too much. And then really it was meeting Brandon, ironically, and this was like
yeah,
2 years ago. My wife she was a bridesmaid in a wedding, and his wife was a bridesmaid in a wedding, in the same wedding. We weren't groomsmen, we didn't know each other, so they're talking about their husbands, and it's like, oh, they both like Star Wars, interesting. We end up
yeah,
meeting, we kick it off, and then I'm seeing Brandon just really like handle business. And I
yeah,
texted him one day and I was like, you inspired me truly. And so I started my and I think it was October of 25 is when I started all my channels, and like was really like, I'm gonna just talk about it. Like there was no goal behind it other than being able to finally own my fandom and like connect with people who
yeah,
enjoy it as well. And
yeah,
down the line we get to this point like Rebel Scum Con, where it was an incredible experience of people who like Star Wars, and it's like, ah, dude, vibes.
yeah.
So that's kind of where I'm at with my fandom. If that I was kind of like a long elevator pitch, but
Oh no, yeah, yeah. I mean, so many elements of that I share with you. I mean, I had friends growing up that had seen it, but it was like you'd see it and you'd talk about it like in the car on the way home, and then that was the end
that's
of
it.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I mean, it was like obviously I've been a fan of it since I was like 2, and I've been collecting since I was like 3. So like if you ever came over to the house, like it was very obvious. But like other than that, like I didn't like go around advertising it really, and it wasn't really until sometime when I was in college before even the channel started, when I was just like, I'm just gonna start like owning it. Like I started going to cons around 2021, I think, and COVID obviously didn't help. Um, but yeah, I mean, and then going to Rebel Scum Con, meeting all the like-minded people, and that was really what I had been going back and forth with the idea of doing something like this for years at that point, and just never, I'm like super introverted, so like the idea of like being on camera all the time was just not for me. Um, and then it was really being at Rebel Scum Con in 25, I guess, last year, and sitting in the crowd at the creator panel and hearing so many people that I had been, you know, fans of and watching for so long just talk about it, and then just getting to talk to them after and get advice and be like, hey, I'm thinking about doing this, and all of them be like, yeah, go for it. And then cut to a year later and I'm on the panel, and it was like, whoa.
Vibes.
But
Good times.
yeah, I mean, it was. So yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you, and it's funny that you tell that story about you meeting Brandon, because I'm pretty sure he told the exact same story when I had him on.
Yeah. I mean, it's rare that like you meet people and hit it off like pretty quickly.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was telling my wife when we came back, side note, we can break it down, but my rental car got towed from the Airbnb at Rebel Scum
Oh
Con.
no. Oh
So we get it
no.
back. Yeah, night before I fly out, Saturday night
Oh
after
gosh.
Dave and Buster's. Anyways, so we get back, we handle it. Jimmy and Brandon help me figure it out. We get back, and Brandon and I were outside till like 2 a.m. just talking Star Wars and talking about different things that we were planning for the channel and like the content that we were wanting to do. And it was like, it's just it gives you a refresh on like, like there's so much out there still, and it's like there's so many people like you said, it's like you have
Yeah,
so much creativity and like input coming in, so many like
yeah,
different aspects of feedback, and it's like, oh dude, like,
yeah,
for next year I have an idea of where I want to go with this.
yeah. And I mean, you're kind of doing your thing. Brandon's kind of doing his thing. What was the conversation to bring those things together in what has become the show that y'all do every week?
Yeah, so Clan Fete every Sunday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. Really, and again, I always have to give kudos to Brandon. Like it's like I am nothing without him, more or less. Like that's just the honest
Yeah,
truth.
yeah,
And we were both doing our things, and I hadn't even started gambling into the live streams. Like I was getting my YouTube up. You had to have, I think when I was like talking to him about it, you had to have 50 subscribers or else you couldn't go live. So I was like, I
yeah,
can't go live because like we're doing that. Um, and then at one point, him and I were talking. And he's like, "Hey, what are your Sunday plans?" And I was like, "Oh, like not much. Like I do this in the morning, and then I'm usually free most of the day." And it was like, "Oh, well, are you interested in starting a podcast? Like really, really kind of talking about stuff?" And it was like, "Yeah, let's do it." So it was like, he came with an idea and a plan, and it was like, This time is what I'm thinking. This is what I'm looking at." And all I had to do was sign up and talk Star Wars. So like, I
yeah,
give my contributions in whatever aspects he needs, and then it's like, he really got the foothold going, and got the show up and running. But it was really just coming together and being like, hey man, we both like the same. We're both super heavily invested in Star Wars. Like we both are very, I would say, in the positive realm of things when it
oh
comes to
yeah,
that. So like, both
yeah,
of us, we hit it off in that, and so it's like, it's easy to communicate, easy to work together, easy to just vibe. So that was the big thing where it's like, hey man, like let's join up. And
yeah.
it's almost like I forget what cartoon it is, the Wonder Twins, where it's like they have the rings and they go
Oh
together, and
yeah,
that's kind of what it was, like
yeah,
turning into a bucket of water. But it's
yeah.
yes, that's really what it was.
Yeah, and I mean, shout out Brandon.
Yeah,
He he has a drive and he has a passion for it that it's hard not to admire. I mean, he is so dedicated to everything that he's doing, you know. Not to
yeah.
say that we're not, but
No, no, everyone's got their shtick, and it's just I tell him all the time. I'm like, I'll message him and be like, "Yo, your YouTube is pumping right now," or like different
yeah,
things like that, where it's like
yeah,
it's not like it's just the appreciation of like, hey man, like I see you working hard, you know.
yeah. And I mean, it's the thing too where I got to give him props. I got to give you props. I got you guys, and you said it a second ago. You guys are so positive, and it's not even just amongst each other. I mean, anytime I post anything, anytime you guys are some of the first ones there, like liking it, sharing it, commenting, hyping it up, and it's always you guys are two of the most just positive and so good at just hyping everybody up. It's amazing, honestly.
Oh, well, I think we have a great community. Like you see, like all the people that we all like, everyone follows each other, and like at Rebel Scum Con, everyone was like, oh, that was the you don't know him in face person, but then you see him and it's like, hey, like it's so easy just to be happy about it, and like it's one of those things where it's we talk about it all the time, but it's like I don't have the energy to be negative on something I love. It's like I'm here for a good time, and it's like, I see everyone like you guys say, it's like I see everyone else putting in the work, and it's like I'm
Yeah,
just I just want to share what my dudes are doing. Like they'd do the same for me, it's like, and it's
yeah,
like I like the content. What's clicking a button for me, and it's like
yeah,
we're here for it. So it's like we always hype each other up and do what we got to do, and whether it's like in being and whether it's like we're gassing each other up or in good fun, but it's like everything's genuine, So like that's the
yeah,
the one thing where it's like I'll bullshit with people, but I'll never lie to them.
yeah. I, y'all and you guys just always crack me up with that too, because I think I posted something right before Rebel Scum Con, and I don't remember if it was you or if it was Brandon or who it was. Somebody like posted like paparazzi popping out of the
Oh, that
bushes.
was me. Yeah, the
You
the photo. Yeah, the photo flashes.
and you were like, "This is how it's gonna be when Cam rolls up," and I was like, y'all are ridiculous." But I always get a good laugh out of it. So I definitely needed it that day. So
It's the
I
little things,
appreciate.
man.
Yeah, I mean, I always appreciate the love, and I will always give it right back. I mean, the community is something that I don't want to say has surprised me, but
It
everybody
surprised me.
knows.
I'll say it.
I mean, everybody knows the stigma around Star Wars fans, and people are always assume that the creator space in Star Wars is like cutthroat, and we're all trying to like one up each other and whatever, and it's just not true. I mean, like I'm down here at like brand new like peasant level creator, and the fact that I could pick up the phone at any time and shoot a message over to some of the biggest Star Wars creators there are, and whether it's running an idea by them, or how do you deal with this, or what would your advice be on this, or whatever the case may be, and get an actual thoughtful and helpful response is wild. I mean,
Yeah,
truly. I mean,
and then you see him in
and
person. It's the same thing, and it's like
yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
I mean, and I want to talk about Rebel Scum Con a little bit because that's fresh on the mind still, and it felt like, and the owners say this, and I'm going to steal it from them now. We're friends, so hopefully they won't care.
Sue
But
me.
yeah, I mean, it's Star Wars summer camp. I mean, you just get to go and spend a weekend hanging out with your Star Wars friends. And 2 years ago, I didn't have that. Like we were talking
Yeah,
about earlier, like we didn't grow up with Star Wars friends, and now I have more than I know what to do with, you know?
yeah.
And you just get to spend a weekend. And I mean, I got a picture that I'll throw up there, you know, that we just got to spend a weekend hanging out and meeting everybody, I guess,
Yeah.
even though we all knew each other already. But yeah,
Well,
I mean,
that was my mistake this year was like leaving Sunday. It's like next year I'll be there Sunday, you know?
yes, 100%. I was y'all told me at Dave and Buster's Saturday night. You were like, yeah, we're not gonna be there tomorrow, and I was like, what? But yeah, dude, I've been fortunate enough to live in the area and know the guys and everything like that. So I've been at all three Rebel Scum Cons, all three that they've done. But this was your first one. What was your just kind of overall impression of that con and that week? Are you well? First of all, are you a big con guy? You go to a lot, or
Well, so funny enough, like, and I got the same reaction when I told everybody that was my first con. So like
no? Really?
I had never
Okay.
been to, yeah, so my like expectations that have like been skyrocketed
Yeah.
because I had such a good time.
Yeah.
Um but yeah, so like at my first as my first convention, I really didn't know what to expect. You know, I think
Yeah.
going into it, you see I didn't look at Instagram videos, like, probably as much as I should have from last year, but, you know, in your head, you picture a
Yeah.
convention, and it's like you think of, like, anime, Marvel, and, like, everything all pushed together, and, like, that's not
Yeah.
really my vibe. Um, so I was very, very hesitant, and, you know, then, like, you know, Brandon and I talking about it, and, you know, Jimmy starts talking to me about it, and, you know, different things like that, and Ron, and they're like, "Oh, yeah, we're all going," and it's like, "Okay," and I didn't think I was actually, like, confirmed until about, like, a month before it, um, and I was talking to my wife, and I was like, "I think I gotta go." Like, it's gonna be one of those, like, experiences where it's gonna be great to, like, meet people, to be a part of this, to see it firsthand, and then, kinda give me, like, a minor preparation for April, and then, you know, when the
Yeah.
Saber company was like, "Hey, like, we're gonna we got a booth, like, we'll figure it out." And so Brandon and I were like, "Perfect, we'll already be there, like, you know, appreciate it." So that was a good, like, you know, kept me busy type vibe. But so I'd be interested, you know, like if I had a media pass or like, you know, down the line as I try to do different things, like if you're not at a vendor booth or at a vendor booth, it's nice to
Yeah.
like kind of walk around and see just all the beautiful artwork, like all the different artists who are super friendly. You know, like
Yeah.
the different celebrities that are walking around and are super shout out Vanessa Marshall for being like one of the nicest
Yeah.
people. Um, so I was like, you know, just that whole experience, it was like it was awesome. So, you know,
Yeah.
I met incredible people. It was an incredible experience. Everyone was super friendly, great vibes. So I like think of April and I'm like, oh man, I don't think it's gonna be like that just because of how big it is. So I'm like, I'm worried,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, but I mean, even still, we got Rebel Scum Con a few months after that. So
Yeah, and I'll be there. So it's like I'm
yeah,
locked in
well,
until for the next five years there, and then we'll
yeah.
see what like if I ever end up living in Texas, it'll be even closer if they keep it there. So
Hey, man, if you're living in Texas, then we may have to scoot Brandon out and start our own thing. No,
we
I'm
got
kidding, but
the Limitless Goat Show.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, going to cons, it can be. I'll tell you, it can be addicting, especially when you have such a good experience for your very first one. Because I mean, I've gone to cons as big as Fan Expo Dallas, which is pretty big, and I've gone to some other smaller stuff, and then having been at all three Rebel Scum cons, to see the growth that they've had from the first year, where there was just maybe a few hundred people there,
Yeah,
maybe, to what it's become now. I'm super happy to be I don't want to say involved because that makes it sound like I work for them, which I don't.
No,
free
but
free
you
free
can't tell the
chill.
story of Rebel Scum Con without you. So, you know.
I mean, having been friends with those guys for, a decade, even prior to Rebel Scum Con being a thing, to see what they've done and to know that they're doing it with the good intentions of the community in
Mhm.
mind. I can't wait to watch it continue to grow. Hopefully not too much. Hopefully we can keep that, small vibe, but I don't see that happening. But
No, I mean you see like all the content that people are putting out from the show, and I think
yeah,
like on like every post I've seen, it's like, oh, I've seen someone who's like, oh, what is this? And it's like, oh, I'm going next year because of the
yeah,
vibes, and like you've
yeah,
seen so many things where it's like the marketing that has been done from the people who actively enjoyed it is like,
yeah,
you can't beat it.
yeah. And I mean, there it's one of the most creator friendly cons I think I've ever seen. I mean, just the amount of people.
Everyone, every it was
Yeah,
like
I mean,
80% of the crowd.
I mean, if you are a Star Wars fan and are on the internet, your favorite creator was at that event. I mean, and if they weren't, they were mad that they weren't,
Yeah, and they'll be
and
there
will
next
be
year.
next year.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
I mean, so yeah, I mean, huge shout out to them for, and I already know that they're working on year four. Um, I already know some of the stuff they're working on, and it's gonna be. You think
Yeah,
this year was fun? Just wait.
yeah. No,
Is all I can say.
and shout out Kentucky, dude. He was moving to
Yeah,
make sure like
yeah,
things were working, technical difficulties were being held. Oh, I just saw that guy. Like I think I saw him sitting
yeah,
down at the end of the day, and it was like, good for you, man. Like
yeah.
take a break.
Yeah, I mean, huge shout out to Kentucky and Bobby and Josh, and I'll give huge props to Dante, who was wrangling all of us content creators all weekend and dealing with celebrity interviews that were supposed to happen and then didn't happen, and then some of them happened, and but yeah, just huge props to that team. It's been so cool to see what they've done. But your content focuses a lot on collecting. You talk. I see a lot of Legos behind you. One in particular that I'm very jealous of, right behind your head. That beast of a Lego set. And I know. I mean? Do you have a favorite set? And is it that one?
No, I do have a favorite set. No, it is not that one. I love the Death Slice. We can talk about that real quick because it was
Yeah,
one thing that when it came out, I was one of the people who was like, I wanted the round Death Star. I was like, I wanted the full thing, and then
yeah,
um, as I was seeing more leaks, as I was talking to people about it, I was like, I display things. Like it's
yeah,
Legos are for different purposes. People play with them, like, but that's not what I buy them for. So
yeah,
as a display piece, I was like, oh, it's perfect. Like
yeah,
it shows everything, man. And then like the build
yeah.
process was long, but very
I'm
fun,
sure.
very rewarding. Like you start
Yeah,
with the base at the bottom, and you're like,
yeah,
I think I got 3 bags in, and I was like, what am I building? Like I couldn't tell you what this is. Um,
yeah,
but it was awesome, and like it's something that I'm gonna have for it'll be always be out. But I think my favorite set is in between. Let me turn my camera. Um, I have a UCS Venator right
oh
here.
my word.
That's probably my
Wow.
favorite. Tied with the slave that the Django one
Yeah.
and the
You mean
OG. Yeah,
Jango Fett Starship?
the Spitfire or whatever it's called. Yeah, that one.
Since we wiped its name from
Yep,
existence. But
exactly.
yeah, I mean, I have the round Death Star set that came out I don't know how many years ago. And I'll say as much as people dogged on the slice, you can actually see all the rooms. Like in mine,
Yeah.
you can see like 2 of the rooms, and then if you want to see the rest of them, you got to turn it, and it's just a pain. And then the
Yeah.
turbo laser fell off of mine, and it's full of dust and missing a bunch of pieces. It's really sad. It would make a true Lego collector very sad to see the shape that
Oh,
mine's in. But
dude, I got an
um,
OG '03 gunship sitting directly across from me. One wing is in a bucket, like the stickers were I think I got it for $100 from my neighbor when I was a kid.
yeah,
So it's
yeah.
just like some things we don't talk about.
Yeah, yeah, no, the state of my, like, one Lego
Yeah,
set that I have.
don't
Well,
worry
that's
about
not
it.
true. Yeah, that's not true. Like, I've got a couple of the helmets because those are pretty fast builds and they're fun. But yeah, no, not Lego. I have to admire Lego from afar.
I've had to stop. I don't have enough space. It's like,
I yeah, I don't. I'm about at capacity of what this room can take, but I'm like constantly shifting what's in storage and what's not, just so I can say I have room when I really don't.
well, they're
But
constantly putting out good stuff, so it's like,
yeah,
it's hard to like just be like, I'm like that was me at the con. I was like, I gotta limit myself, and then I'm walking around like looking at all the art, and I'm like, oh, I'm coming home with stuff.
yeah. Luckily with like the autos that I was getting and just some of the other like content stuff that I was doing and panels and whatever, I really didn't have a lot of time to look around at vendors until like Sunday, which is kind of a good thing because I
Yeah,
was like, I instead of having 3 days to buy stuff, I had one and managed to actually get out not terrible.
yeah,
But you know, but I also know that lightsabers are a big part of what you collect. I see one right behind you that I actually got to see in person at Rebel Scum Con.
shout out to my
And
boy.
yeah, shout out Manny Jacinto, the stranger.
Who
If you haven't watched The Acolyte, please go watch it. It's not all what the internet says it is.
Yeah,
At least
make up
go
your own
watch it for
opinion.
Manny. At
Yeah,
least go watch it for Manny because he's
yeah.
he's far and above the best part of that show, in my opinion.
And
But
it was so crazy meeting him, and it was like, oh, like Chimere is you,
yeah,
like it's crazy. He was so what was it? It was like so mellow and much more
yes,
reserved than I thought it was. Like I
yeah,
was expecting like, him to be very like
yeah,
outward. And then,
yeah,
when you walk up and he's like, "Oh, hey, how are you?" It was like you just melted my heart, dog.
yeah, yeah. He was much more mellow than I expected too. Which I mean, I've since I've been going to cons for so long, I've met a fair amount of the Star Wars people that just kind of like make the rounds, um, but and thankfully have not had a bad experience with anybody personally. But yeah, no, Manny was super cool. I'm looking at the figure that I had him sign over there on the wall. But was that one of your first like meet and greets since you're not a con guy?
Yeah, like I haven't done any of that stuff. So that I was like, again, I didn't really know, when we went to go
Yeah,
do our photo op with Manny, Brandon and I walked out and we shake hands real quick and then we said something and then he started to ask us a question, like he was talking to us, and
yeah,
the photo guy's like, "Hey, 3, 2, 1," and it was like, "Hey, hey, hey, hey,"
yeah,
like he's talking to us, we're not talking to him, like it's different.
yeah,
But yeah, that was cool where it was like because of the size of the event, you got to feel like there wasn't, like seeing Vanessa Marshall and she just walks up, she's like, "Hello," and
yeah,
like gives me a hug, and it's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
am I allowed to do this? Like, so it's just
yeah,
it was cool, man. Yeah, it's like it was
yeah,
standing in line to meet people, who would have thought?
yeah. Yeah, and I mean, I'm glad I reminded you to like take your saber to your photo op
Dude,
because you were
I
like,
saw
because
that.
you were like, I don't know, can we do that? And I was like, yeah, take it.
Everyone in line in front of me who were vendors, they were all vendors, and they were like, "Yeah, bro, I left my booth."
Yeah. Yeah. It so I'm curious, is there, since you've just, dipped your toes into meeting Star Wars people, who's kind of, do you have anybody that's like on your bucket list now of this person would be cool to go see at an event?
I think there's a lot, like, I think I would
Yeah.
with this being my first con, it was like, let me dip my toes in the water.
Yeah.
Like next year, it's like, next year that would be like, and I'd want to see the same people again is the thing, because it's like I
Yeah.
want to establish that connection just to have a
Yeah.
conversation. Like I'm not trying to, I don't want
Yeah.
anything out of it other than like, hey, can I ask you
Sure.
about your character?
Yeah.
Um, but it's like, seeing the same people again, and then, I think the grand scheme is, like, I would love to see Hayden. I think that's the tip of my iceberg per
Yeah.
use for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
like, I'm debating on if I'm gonna do it at Celebration because I think it's gonna be s buco bucks, and that line is gonna be impressive.
The celebration tax is a real thing.
That's what I've heard, so I'm gonna be a little hands off, we'll see. But,
Yeah.
I think, Lars Mikkelsen, who plays
Yeah.
Theron,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Yeah.
he's on, like, there's a so we got Hayden, Lars, Rosario, I
Rosario's
already
cool.
like, that's the and I think I'd love to do one of those photo ops with both of them because they always look like they're
Yeah.
having so much fun with like, they're so
Yeah.
open to
Yeah.
whatever the people wanna do.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I
Yeah. Rosario is one of the kindest people. I mean, she's so cool. Haven't met Hayden yet. He's one of the ones that's like, he's one of the ones that I'm gonna have to dedicate an entire event's worth of
Yep,
budget. Like, he's the only person that I'm meeting at this con.
yep.
He's gonna have to be at an opportunity where that's the case, which so far it hasn't been. But yeah, I mean, Vanessa Marshall is so kind. I've met her twice. But yeah, and I mean, it is cool when you start to see the same people again. And, if you establish enough of a, kind of a rapport with them, that to the
Yeah,
point where they may not, may not remember your name or whatever, but they remember enough
yeah.
to
I don't
they
remember people's names, so it's okay.
yeah, exactly. I will say, if you ever get to meet Ashley Eckstein,
Mm,
she is one of the she has one of the craziest memories I have ever seen. Like, she'll remember what event she met you at, what
oh,
year it
wild.
was. Like, she may not remember your name, but she'll remember like bits and pieces of your conversation from last time. It's bizarre. But
Is the where did you see her, if you don't mind me asking?
I've seen her. I saw her at a small show here
Hey,
in
that's
Dallas
Limitless, go.
called all this was before I was even doing content. I mean, I saw her in 2021 at
Oh,
an
wow.
event, a small event called Retro Expo. And then I didn't see her again until Fan Expo Dallas 2023. And then I saw her for a third time, I believe, back at Retro Expo in 2024. I think I may have the years mixed up, but something like that. And she'll just be like, "We've met before,"
We
and I'm
have,
like,
yes.
"Yeah, we have, yes." And well, and it's the kind of weird thing too, like, especially now that I'm like doing content and getting the opportunity to like interview some of these people. Like, I had Brendan Wayne on the show right before Rebel Scum, and even though it was just like a couple of weeks before that, I was fully prepared for him to like not remember me at all.
Yeah.
Just just they meet so many people, it would not offend me in the slightest. Um, and I remember walking up to his table, and he like came out from behind his table and just like gave me a hug and was like, "Hey, man," and I'm like, he was like, and then he like looked to his agent or whoever was with him and was like, "We just talked a few weeks ago," and I was like, "Yeah, man, we did," and it was just so.
The agents are always just like,
Yeah, I mean, it was so. And then like throughout the weekend too, like every time that he would see me, he would like come out of his way to like say hi or whatever, and then he was hanging out with us at Dave and Buster's and
yeah, he was
doing all
he
this
was
stuff.
just
And
like the people's champion at Dave and Buster's, dude.
yeah, yeah, and he messaged me Monday morning after Rebel Scum and was like, "Hey, man," I was like, "Good to see you over the weekend," and I was like, "You too, man." I was like, "Thank you for like coming down and
Appreciate you.
hanging out with us and being so cool." And he was like, "Y'all are the people that make it happen." So yeah, it's very interesting to like build that, because I mean they're just people,
Yeah.
and I mean and most of them are fans. Like the first actor that I had on the show was Marty Matulis, who played the pirate Vane in season 3 of Mando, and then he showed up again in Skeleton Crew,
Mhm.
and he's one of the coolest people, and it's to the point now where he does a lot of like creature work, like you almost never actually see his face. And it's to the point now where I could be watching a movie, and this happened like right before Christmas. I was watching a movie, and I don't even remember what movie it was. And this like really ugly looking like bird creature came onto the screen and started talking. And I'm looking and I'm listening, and I'm like,
Hey, bro, are you in this movie?
and I took a screenshot of the screen and sent it to him and was like, "Hey, man, this you?" And he responded in like half an hour and was like, "Yep, that's me." And I was like, "It's
We
bizarre.
don't talk
It's
about that movie.
Yeah, it was very bizarre, but it's so, and they're just people, and they're just
Yeah,
fans,
they were
and
all homies, dude. Every single
yeah,
person I met was
yeah,
incredible.
yeah, and talking about Mando and Disney Plus and all that, we got a trailer just the other day. Ahsoka season 2.
We sure did.
What did you think of that trailer?
Dog, I'm so here for it. Like
Yeah,
it's like it looks like a movie. Like the way they put the trailer together, and I think one thing I really liked, and Brandon and I touched on this was, one issue I have with shows and movies nowadays is you get a trailer and you see the entire movie or the show. It's like
yeah,
you see like pivotal moments, and they may not show it in entirety, but it's like you see the
yeah,
build up to certain things, and it's like they gave us just enough of a taste, but the
yeah,
way they presented it, it was like, oh, so we're just get like, Ahsoka season 1 was all the exposition, like, we're just
yeah.
getting straight action, like Imani said,
Oh
like,
yeah,
we're just
yeah,
getting in this.
yeah, yeah. And it looks crazy. Like season 1, I don't know about you, but season 1 is one of my favorite Star Wars things.
Oh, I
Just
loved it.
period,
Yeah.
period. I and I think part of it is because I'm such a big Clone Wars and Rebels guy, and and it's all those same characters and all those, but season 1 was so good, and season 2 looks like it's taking all of that and turning it up to like 20,
I
and it's just gonna go insane.
I teared up. I could tell you where I was at the moment when I first heard Hayden say Snips in season 1 when they, like, go to the
Yeah,
world between worlds, and I'm like,
yeah,
"He's
dude.
back," and I like, I'm not overly emotional on certain things, but, like, that brought a tear to my eye. I was like,
Oh
"That's
yeah.
my guy," and he's back
Yeah.
in the flesh, and, like, he's getting
Yep.
the love and the everything, and so, like, that was like,
Yeah.
okay, so we have that established. They went through, like, really into lore with season 1, and then season 2, it's like, we get it's like the space battles. We have Ahsoka and Sabine in the temple. We see Shin. Like, we have Balin coming back with and I apologize because I forget the actor's name who's taking over, who
Oh,
played in Game of Thrones.
it's Rory McCann.
Yes, so like I'm very excited to see his portrayal. I think they're gonna no one will ever be our boy Stevenson. But it's like I think it's gonna be I'm interested to see what the story goes. Like the first scene of the U-wings flying in that smoky, what looks like a Dathomir type of environment based on the shot
Oh
of the
yeah.
planet. Like again, I like we were in that group chat and everyone was just doing like it was like the Joe Rogan
Yeah.
meme where everyone's like holding each
Yeah.
other back.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, we are roughly the same age. So, we were in that group that grew up with Ahsoka and grew up with Clone Wars. And, Clone Wars is like my Star Wars thing. Like, I had
Mhm.
seen the original trilogy, I had seen the prequels. I think I was 6 when Revenge of the Sith came out. And,
Yep.
you know, um, but like, so I had seen all that and I was obviously already a fan, but like Clone Wars, the movie came out when I was like the perfect age for Clone Wars.
Yep.
And then the show, you see the show mature with its audience, and to go from being 10 when that Clone Wars movie came out to watching the final, obviously there was a gap in the middle, but like watching that final season sitting in my college dorm room, you know,
Yep.
um, I'm so attached to that show. And as much as I didn't want to accept Rebels when it first came out, because it was, the
Mhm.
replacement for Clone Wars after it sadly got canceled, I have come around on Rebels so much, and that group and those characters are so well done, even though they killed off my favorite one, R.I.P. Kanan.
Hey,
But we won't talk.
at
We
least he
won't.
goes out in, like, the most
Blaze of
I don't know.
glory,
Yeah,
literally,
most
literally a
Jedi way
blaze of glory.
possible. Yeah.
Yeah, but and then to see the first season of Ahsoka, I was just like, and became Balin and Shin both really became two of my like favorite new characters. Like I loved Balin in season
Yeah.
1. Like he became a top tier character for me almost immediately. I was so sad when Ray Stevenson passed, and I was really hoping that they would find some way to carry on that character instead of
Mhm.
just writing him out or
Yep.
whatever the other options were. But yeah, I cannot say enough about that show. I mean, it is the definition of Star Wars to me. It is just action, adventure, so much going on. I love it.
January 20th.
January 20th. It
Yep.
cannot come. I feel bad for the poor probably former employee at Getty Images that leaked the date that is probably no
Oh,
longer
so
employed.
yeah, someone's gone.
Yeah, the poor the poor Getty Images employee that took a picture of them signing the posters and leaked the date before they were, because the date's not even at the end of the trailer.
No,
So I
yeah,
don't think they were going to say the date.
no, I
I don't
think
think
that
they were
wasn't
going.
gonna come out at a like, we still have that probably comes out at the final trailer, like,
Yeah, I
trailer
don't
and
think.
then streaming,
Yeah,
like, oh, yeah.
yeah. I don't know. I don't know that they were ready for for the date to go out, but oh well, it's out now, January 20th. I and you said it a second ago, but that's the reason that I created that group chat that we're both in. I was like, just so when stuff like that, and granted, I made that group chat having no clue that we were all going to get to freak out about a trailer like a day after I made it. But
Yeah.
like, I was like, that's the reason that I love Rebel Scum Con bringing all these people together, because now we can like have a place to like collectively freak out about stuff.
Well, it was like seeing the like the rides and like we got the leaked outfits and everyone was like, oh, like hold up, like we got something, and it was like
It
we had
just
the day and a
slowly
half.
built.
Yeah, a day and a half from talking about the outfits, then then the poster, and it was like, oh, we're in biz, and then the trailer, and it was like, oh man, like 300 texts later.
Yeah, and then everybody's posting their trailer reactions,
Yeah,
and yeah, it it's funny that, and this will sound sappy, and I guess it kind of is, but like, to be a fan of something as long as I have been, I was well under the impression that Star Wars had like impacted my life in the biggest way that it possibly could. And then to have that be as wrong as I could possibly be. And now I've gained this whole new Star Wars family, basically. I mean, the community aspect of it is something that I never knew could make the impact that it's made, you know?
yeah,
And it's stuff like this with new stuff coming out, and we can all be excited about it, and we can all be, emotional about it, or we can all
yeah.
be, whatever, that just makes it so much better.
And it's like I forget who I was talking to about it, but it's like, Star Wars is going to be a thing long after I'm gone, and it's like
Yeah.
we're going to have Star Wars content coming out every year for the next, however long, and it's like at some point we're going to leave the Skywalker saga. Like at some point we're going to leave
Yeah.
Ahsoka, we're going to leave these characters, and it's like I'm going to enjoy it, dude. Like I'm going to take all of this in, like, and I was having a conversation with somebody because they were like, "Oh, it's not the it's not the book adaptation of Heir to the Empire, so I don't want it." And it's like, we're never gonna get a book adaptation, big dog. So like this is as close as we're gonna
Yeah.
get. And it's like, if you don't want to watch it, that's fine. But like I'm gonna be here for every second of it.
Yeah.
It's like Thrawn's on stage. I'm gonna watch Thrawn. And like that we may not see Thrawn again. It's like we're gonna see him in
Yeah.
this period, and then when his story's done until they want to, revisit it.
If you want Heir to the Empire, go read Heir to the Empire.
Yeah, which is a great book. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I love the Thrawn books, but it's like we're not gonna get a word for it's like Marvel. It's like, they like Marvel, DC, it's like they do these adaptations of
Yeah.
books, and it's like they're gonna pull different source material, and like again, I'm here for it. It's like I'm gonna fully support Dave Filoni's my guy, and like
Yeah.
Sam Witwer is like my guy. And so like anytime they're attached to a project, like
Dude, we need to get you in the same room as Whitwer, man. Whitwer is the freaking coolest dude on planet Earth. I've met and gotten to hang out with him twice, and like actually like spend a fair amount of time like talking to him. He is so cool, dude.
no, and it's like, yeah, I forgot, like, I didn't realize all the other stuff he was in, because when in my mind, he's Star Wars. Like, to me, I
Yeah,
always
yeah,
say it, like, he's my heir to the empire for Star Wars. Like,
hundred
Sam
percent.
Witwer, I hope is the dude going at some point in the
Yeah,
future.
yeah,
But I was watching The Mist, like that
yeah.
throwback movie, and he's
Oh
in it,
yeah,
and I was like, oh,
oh
that's
yeah,
Sam Witwer. Like I
oh
forgot,
yeah,
you know?
oh yeah. Yeah, no, part of the conversation I had with him, I was just like, "Dude, I loved you in The Mist," and he was like,
Yeah.
"Nobody ever
Same.
says that. Thank you." But yeah, I mean, it, and then like we're talking about Ahsoka, and then we got Starfighter stuff too. So
Mhm.
like Ahsoka's on the horizon. Starfighter, we don't really. Hopefully, Dave's. I'll say this in air quotes so the Legends people don't get mad at me. Dave's Heir to the Empire movie, which is not going to be a true Heir to the Empire movie, but it's going to be our version of an Heir to the Empire movie.
Mhm.
Hopefully, is still coming to like bring together all the Mando verse
Yeah.
stuff. I'm not convinced we're ever going to get rid of Ahsoka as long as Dave has something to say about it. But that's a discussion for another day.
Yeah,
But but I'm like, the thing that always kind of bugs me is like the Legends people that are like, so well, it's not Legend, and I'm like, you act like that stuff has been totally erased from existence. If you like that version more, go enjoy it. It's not like
that's
it's
fine.
not still there. I'm
Yeah,
like, it's still
it's
there.
it's just the reality is we're not gonna get book like word for word depictions
No,
of that
no,
material. And it's like it's the same thing with like certain characters, like Mara Jade, Darth Revan, Malgus. It's
yeah,
like certain characters, like I think Star Wars is hesitant to bring in because if one piece is wrong, they're gonna get flamed by
yeah,
like 40% of the community. And so
yeah,
it's like, it's like the acolyte thing where it's like, okay, we're probably not getting an Old Republic show for 5 years until the shareholders are like,
yeah,
yeah, we can support that again. Um,
yeah,
so I don't know. I have that battle where it's like like I had someone call it like George Lucas Star Wars, and it's like I don't know, man. Like it's just that's never gonna be where we're at, you know? Like,
yeah.
maybe down the line, but that's not where we're at right now, and again, I just enjoy what's being I'm gonna get called a shill, but, like, I enjoy what's being
Me
put in
too.
front of me,
I
man.
I get called a shill every day, so it's
Yeah,
fine. This is the
like,
perfect place for it.
yeah, like, I sit down, my wife and I enjoy the stuff, like, I get to see, like, characters I grew up with, I get to see the story continue, I like it, so it's like, and that's the thing I love about Star Wars is like, "Oh, you don't like that? Go watch the animated show. You don't like the animated show? Go watch Andor. You don't like Andor? Go watch the movies. If you don't like the movies, go read the books." It's like you can literally go anywhere and find something that will appeal to you.
I mean, if you I hate to bring up this debate, but I will. If you stick so closely to the source material and making stuff faithful and all that stuff, we're gonna end up like Star Trek, where everything that they make is either bad or then they just quit making stuff, which is why there isn't any stuff for that franchise anymore. But like also, and here's the argument I like to throw at people that get mad at me for saying I like pretty much everything that comes out. This is the argument that I usually throw at them. To me, the most important aspect of it is every new project that comes out, whether it's your cup of tea or not, is an opportunity to create new fans, because that might be the first Star Wars thing they ever see, and
Yep.
it may become their favorite Star Wars thing. And more fans means more cool stuff like Rebel Scum Con, more cool conversations like the one that we're having right now, and you will never convince me that that's a bad thing.
I say it about Maul because the Maul Shadow Lord show in its own right is gonna have its own, like, Star Wars fans that
Yeah,
grew up with it, like, that are kids right now,
yeah,
that are gonna
yeah,
die on that hill for that show, and it's one of the best
100%.
shows I've ever seen. But it's just like you said, it's like for us, it was Revenge of the Sith, or the Clone Wars, I remember opening
Yep,
a Lego Star Wars, the Lego, what was it? The pamphlet they'd send where it has, like,
yeah.
all the everything listed,
Oh, yeah.
and in the corner, it's like, "Go make sure to go watch Star Wars: The Clone Wars tonight at 8 p.m." or whatever it was.
Yep,
But it's like, whether it's us with Revenge of the Sith and the prequels or the next generation with the sequels and, like, these kids growing up with these different animated shows, it's like,
yep,
it's just more content, dude, and at the end of the day, it's like Ron and Jimmy were talking about it where they're like, "Yeah, we were Star Wars fans, and then we waited 30 years for Star Wars content." And it's
yeah.
like, I don't want that." Like,
No,
we have 8 months, and our fans are like, "Where's
yeah,
the stuff at, dude?"
yeah, yeah. I mean, more content equals more fans, and you'll never convince me that that's bad. So
Yeah,
whatever they want to put out, it may not be my cup of tea. It may not be my favorite thing. I don't love everything that they've put out, but honestly, the stuff that I'm not like super high on, I just don't really talk about it because I don't really
yeah,
have anything to say.
it's like,
I'm
"Cool."
not. Yeah, it's like, if that's your favorite Star Wars thing, great. I'd love to know why.
Yeah,
Not necessarily with the intention of you changing my mind on it. I
Yeah,
just
I'm
want
just
to know why
interested.
that thing. Yeah, I just want to know why that thing got you into Star Wars.
Yeah. I
You
was
know?
sitting with the Force of Others podcast, and
Oh
we
yeah,
were talking about it, and
that's my
because I
those are my boys.
dude, I love those dudes. And I had made a comment to I think it was I think it was Matt. Um, but I was talking about how like Lord of the Rings in my mind is like the perfect trilogy. And then he looked at me and he was like, "But you're a Star Wars fan." I was like, "I am." And like, but there's different pieces. Like, I was like,
Yeah,
I don't view it like critically like I view Star Wars. And
yeah,
so like he was like, "Well, what don't you like about the sequels?" And I was like, "Oh, it's." I was like, "I think it's like it's not like that I don't like the sequels. It's that I dislike some things that happen." And it's like,
sure.
for exa for example, my big stick, Leia for like floating through space and force pulling herself,
Literally talking to somebody about this earlier today.
come on, like, so it's like, and, like,
Yeah,
there's instances like that where it's like, you know, maybe in my own right, I'm being whatever, but then it's like, I was talking to Brandon about the dagger, and I was like, "Oh,
yeah,
I didn't get enough explanation on that," and he was like, "Oh, well, if you go read, this comic, it'll explain all of that," and I was like, "Ah, well, I can't really hate too much then, because like, it's there," you
yeah,
know?
yeah,
But that's like I'll watch every project regardless, so I can say that I watched it, and it's like, "Hey, I've seen it, I can speak to it," and like, yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, and that's what's been so cool about just finding my way and finding my people in the community. Finding people like you and Brandon and Force of Others and everybody in our group chat that I can't name them all because it would take too long, and just so many people that just want to talk about Star Wars because we love Star Wars.
Yeah.
you know, I will say this PSA to anybody that's listening that still thinks Star Wars fans are toxic. There are toxic people out there. They are few. They may be loud, but they are few.
That's the name of the day or name of the game nowadays to get clicks, it's like,
Sure.
it's the if you wanna make a rage bait comment, like, it's a easy way
Yeah. Yeah.
to spread it, so, it's neither here nor there, you know?
Yeah. It's all love. It's all love here. It's all love and positivity and fun and enjoyment of Star Wars here.
Yep.
But okay, I got some rapid fire questions for you.
Okay, yeah, on the spot, let's go.
All right. Favorite Star Wars movie?
Revenge of the Sith,
Okay. Favorite show? Favorite of the shows?
Andor,
Okay. Favorite character?
Darth Vader.
Hes-
I ha Well,
hesitated there.
I was gonna say Hayden, and in my mind, I'm like, they're the same person, but, like, Anakin, Vader, the same person, but, yeah.
um, favorite Star Wars game?
The OG Battlefront 2. I spent way too many weekends playing Galactic Conquest.
See, I knew we were friends for a reason. Favorite vehicle or starfighter or ship or mode of transportation?
Only because of, okay, never mind, I'm just Luthen's Hallcraft. Luthen's Fondor Hallcraft.
Good, nice
That's
choice.
the vibe.
Um, what is your Star Wars hot take that makes the internet mad at you, other than just I love Star Wars? Because apparently that's a hot take these days.
Um, well, I guess I'll split it with 2. One is, like, I always want my Vader show, and I get hate because it's, like, the whole series is about Anakin and Vader, I get it, but it's like we haven't seen
Yeah,
Vader post Revenge of the Sith besides Maul Shadow Lord in different instances,
yeah,
but the hottest take would probably be, like, I'm still waiting for Acolyte Season 2. Like, if you wanna
yep,
put that out there, that'll blow up, but it's like, I really wanna see more of the Stranger. It's like they tease Plagueis, they tease this like this dark Jedi that could be the first Knight of Ren. Like they have this backstory with the Jedi Council that in the books they kind of tried to rectify a little bit, but I don't think it did too much justice. So it's like I still want to see that expanded upon. But that's kind of where I'm at.
See, I have a pitch for More Stranger that I will give you after we're done.
Yeah,
that I think will melt your brain if you
and
want More Stranger.
Yeah, and I think when we talked to Kymir, like I said thank you, and Brandon was like, "We hope to see you again," and he just looked at us. It was like, "Me too."
Me
So it
too.
was like,
Yeah.
"Yep."
Yep. Yeah. 100%. Okay. I know that you are a big lightsaber guy.
Mhm.
So, you work with the Saber Company. You are a lightsaber collector yourself. We're going to play a game. And you may not want to be friends with me by the end of this game, but we're going to do
Oh,
it
I'm gonna have to
anyway.
name them, and I'm gonna fail miserably.
No, it's okay.
Oh, okay.
I won't make you name them. But this is keep 5, cut 5
Okay.
lightsabers. So I'm just gonna give you some at random, and we'll see what happens. Keep 5, cut 5. So the first one I'll give you is Kylo Ren, the cross guard. What do we think of the cross guard?
So is this one of those things where it's like the? Are you gonna give me? Okay. I only have
You
5
got it.
spots. Yeah.
You got 5. You got 5 keeps, and you got 5 cuts.
I'm
You got to
keeping it
decide.
because of how unique it is.
Okay. Okay.
Like one,
Hey.
it's more or less one of a kind in what we see, and it's I will have one showing up to my door here in the next like 2 weeks.
Hey. I gotta figure out how to get in good with the Saber Company, so they'll be sending me sabers, dog.
Oh, I paid for it. No worries. That was they were like, we got a new saber, and I said, give me it.
Here's another one that's unique, so we'll see what you say. How about the dark saber?
I'm keeping it too
Okay.
because of the lineage of the Mandalore.
I've
Only a
got a real
Mandalorian Jedi. Like you gotta show respect to that.
yeah. What about the OG, the one that everybody knows, the Skywalker saber? Whether you call it Anakin's, whether you call it Luke's, whether you call it Rey's or Finn's, I guess for half a movie.
Anakin's. Can we? Is that classified? No, it's not. Yeah, I gotta keep it. I'm gonna go 5 for 5 and then be screwed.
Uh
It's really what's gonna happen. I got one
We're
spot
gonna have
left, and I know what 2 I am eyeing.
so you still have 2 keeps and
Okay.
all 5 of your cuts.
Okay.
So we will go Qui-Gon Jinn.
Cut.
Okay.
Yeah, it's it is a little I don't know. It's the impact of Qui-Gon is not enough for me.
That's
I
that's
I
very fair.
love my boy, but I love some Neeson, but
That is very fair. I will give you Yoda with
cut.
with his little midget saber.
Probably the one that would fit my hand the best, but we're gonna have to cut that one.
Me too. Me too. All right. Mace Windu.
Oh
Purple
man,
saber with some gold accents on it. Samuel L. Jackson.
I know.
Sam Jackson special.
Probably one of the drippier sabers. I have to cut it because in my mind I have 2 spots and I have 2 sabers left that I would take.
It's gonna be really awkward if I don't name those, but that's okay. We'll do Ahsoka's white ones, her katana sabers from Rebels, and then the Ahsoka
Oh,
series.
and they have like the cool shape to them too.
Yeah, it's a
Man,
tough one.
now I'm gonna have to cut it.
Oh no! All right, now I'm just curious. it's going to be really interesting if I ask you what's your favorite lightsaber after this, and it's not one of the ones that ends up on here. But we will do Obi-Wan's specifically from episode 3.
It is
Even though hot take, I prefer his Phantom Menace one.
the Padawan one. Yeah, I know, me too. I'm gonna have to cut it. I also prefer his Padawan saber over his episode 3.
All right, so those are your 5 cuts. So that means the 2 more that you're keeping, you have no choice,
Oh,
is Luke's V2.
okay.
So
That's all right.
and Darth Vader.
Darth Vader was one of them.
Okay, which one? I'm curious. What was the other one that you were thinking of?
Well, the other one is also my favorite saber, and that is the Chimera saber right here.
Oh my god! See, I
Yeah.
was gonna put that one on. I was gonna put that one on here, but I figured that would be too easy. So
Well, it was Vader. Vader's saber has been my favorite for all time, and then this came out, and I saw him Swiss cheese Jackie with it, and it was like, yo, like I'm sorry, and ever since then it
yeah,
was like, yeah, this is kind of my favorite.
yeah. It was really cool to because I had never like seen it up close, and then you let me see yours while we were waiting in line for Manny to get there, and I was like, okay, this one's like actually growing on me, and the fact that you can like split it, and
Yeah,
do all the
well, like I almost think I may have somewhat broken mine with how easy it comes out, because
oh no,
the guy in the line next to me was like
he
trying
couldn't
to
get
do
yeah.
it. Yeah, and he was like, I was like, I don't want to break it, dog. Like, you know.
Like it's supposed to split apart, but it should not be this hard.
And so that's where it's like when mine just like clicked. It was like I remember
Yeah.
having a slight issue when I got it, and I think I was struggling with it, and I just forced it, and I think I may have whatever is what it is.
But
The J lock.
yeah, so you ended up keeping Kylo Ren's, the Dark Saber, the Skywalker Saber, Luke's V2, and Darth Vader's, and you ended up
Money.
cutting Qui-Gon, Yoda, Mace Windu, Ahsoka's White, and Obi-Wan Episode 3.
I would trade Mace Windu's for Luke's, but not the end of the world.
Oh, Luke's V2 is my favorite. Don't you
Oh
hate me?
no. I apologize.
That's okay. But we were talking about it earlier. You know, Ahsoka season 2 is on the horizon. Maul Shadow Lord season 2 is on the horizon. Starfighter's coming. You know, we've got some other stuff that's maybe not officially confirmed, but rumored. You know, there's a Rey movie floating out there somewhere. There's Dave's movie floating out there somewhere. Of all the things that are rumored and or confirmed, what's got you most excited coming on the horizon?
I think my brain says Ahsoka season 2 because of everything that we're getting, the implications, the setup, all that good stuff. And then I think a little bit of my heart, dude, says Starfighter because we're in a
Yeah,
completely new, like unknown, like new time
yeah,
period, what's going on in the galaxy. Like I want to
yeah,
know, like, hopefully it's not just Empire versus Republic again. Like I would like an outside threat type of vibe. Um,
yeah,
but it's like it's so unknown that I'm excited for it.
yeah, yeah. Starfighter, I was really nervous about Starfighter, and then I went and saw Project Hail Mary
Oh, so
just
good.
just because I wanted to see Ryan Gosling in space.
Mhm.
I knew nothing about that movie before I saw it. I hadn't seen a trailer. I didn't know it was based on a book. I knew nothing about that movie. I was like, that's got Ryan Gosling in space. He's about to be in Star Wars. I need to go see that. And
That'll be
that's
in
been like,
space.
yeah, yeah. And then that ended up being like one of my favorite movies of the year so far.
Oh, so good, yeah.
But yeah, no, Starfighter, especially taking place after the sequels, you know, so it's a unexplored kind of moment in time, Apparently, there's lightsabers in it. I don't know what that could possibly mean. I feel like it. I feel like it could mean that Ray pops up. I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? But yeah,
Well,
no. The fact that it's such a question.
it's I think it's just it's a dark side user that it's who is the dark side user fighting, like, and then again it's like how are there still force users that are still like actively roaming, like where are we at with that, how do they have lightsabers, like there's
Yeah,
so much that I would like to see explained, and it's like, okay, well, then once we're done with Starfighter, where are we going from there, how are they following that up with the time period, things like that. A lot of intrigue.
yeah. Does Starfighter lead into Ray's movie or Ray's trilogy or whatever is next for her? Because we know she's gonna, be around some more. They said lightsabers, and I was like, okay, the only person in the galaxy that we know about that has a lightsaber at that particular moment in time
Yeah,
is Ray. So I'm like, unless there's new people running around with lightsabers that we didn't know about,
but then
which
how they
seems,
use lightsabers,
yeah,
like,
like where did these lightsabers come from? Like
yeah.
they're not. I mean, I really hope that they're not still Order 66 survivors running around. They'd be old as
Yeah,
dirt by
no,
now.
there's no way, and I'm all for adding more, like, Order 66 survivors. I like, that's some flack I took where it's like, dude, there was, like, 100,000 Jedi throughout the galaxy, like, not that there's
Yeah,
gonna be 100 of them
yeah,
that are still alive, that slip up, but it's like, it can't be Order 66. We're
yeah.
too far
It
removed,
can't
like, it's
be.
gotta be,
Yeah,
like, the Shin Hati where it's like that, or Ezra where it's like
yeah.
I forget what they're
Trained
called.
later. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly, the Boken Jedi or whatever it is.
yeah. Yeah, I'm like, who is still running around with lightsabers at this point? Like, I
Yeah,
mean, and I agree with you. I'm like, I do find it kind of funny though that like every single project that comes out just makes Order 66 look less and less effective
yeah,
as
it's
time
like,
goes on.
they survived too, and this guy survived, and it's like, "Alright," like,
Because at the end of episode 3, I mean, we're led to believe that it's just Obi-Wan and Yoda.
yep,
And
and
then, as time's gone on, you've got Ahsoka and Kanan and Balin and Kelleran Beck and Cal Kestis and, you know, Quinlan Voss is out there somewhere doing stuff. And, you just get more and more and more
Asajj
people.
and
Yeah.
yep,
You just get more and more people that seem to have survived. But, I agree with you. Like, if there's 100,000 of them, it's not unlikely that 100 of them got away, and we haven't seen 100 survivors yet. So,
yeah, it's like,
it happens.
yeah, so it's just like I'm just ready to see, I'm really just interested to see, like, what are they gonna do with something new? Like, when,
Yeah.
you hear the interview with the producer and the director, and he's like, they said, "Go do something brand new," and it's like, "Okay, like, what is that?"
Yeah. And then we got rumors that like Tom Cruise was hanging out on set
Yeah,
one day, like
with the lightsaber
directing.
scene.
And I'm like, huh? What
Yeah,
is going on with this movie? But I think it would be interesting if it led into the Ray movie, not only just because I'm personally ready to see more of Ray,
mhm,
but also the fact that that opens up for characters in Starfighter to not just be one-offs, to also appear
yeah.
in said Ray movie, whatever that ends up, if that ends up happening. Um, but yeah, I mean, and I wasn't like the craziest Ryan Gosling fan.
Mhm.
Obviously, he's grown on me a lot this year with Project Hail Mary and whatever. So I'm I'm not as nervous as I was 8 months ago.
Yeah, and, I think one of those things is, like, they like, with Andor, how it's like we got Rogue One, the movie, and then a few years later, or 2 years later, whatever it was, we got, that first season of Andor. Or it was a couple years, but still. It's like, we could get a Starfighter movie, and let's say it just, like, blows up, and everyone's like, "Wow, this is really good, like, I wanna see more of this character." they hadn't originally planned for it. It's like, all right, let's go make a show. It's like
Yeah.
it's not like Mall season 2 where it's like they had announced it before season 1 and then season 1 just goes nuclear and it's like, oh cool. Yeah, we can do season 2 for sure. So it's like, do we get to that point and they're like, oh, let's expand on Caden's character.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I could talk about Maul all day, but we won't do that. But this is an interesting question because I always get something really interesting. Dave Filoni comes to you and he says, John, we need something new. It can be a movie, show, live action, animated, video game, book, comic, theme park ride, whatever you want it to be, whatever you pitch me right now on the spot. Lucasfilm is going to make it. We can't say no. It's going to happen. What's the one thing that you're throwing on the table? It can be a casting choice. It can be whatever. What's the one thing that you're speaking into reality?
I mean, I think immediately it would be live action Cal Kestis. Like, where's my boy? Like, he's gone. It's been way too long to not have my boy. Like, the fact that he's portrayed the video game twice, he's got his own fan base. Like,
yeah, dude.
I need that dude in there. I need him in the Mandoverse. I need him somewhere,
yes. Yeah, I mean, dude, I'm probably one of the biggest Cal Kestis fans that you're gonna find. His actor's name is Cameron, so I'm on board with that. He's the only ginger I'm aware of in Star Wars, so I relate to him. I relate to him on that front. The fact that they used the actor's likeness to make the video game character tells me that bringing him into live action was always a part of the plan.
Yep.
I think once that third game comes out and kind of ties up that little trilogy, I think all bets are off on when and where we see him next. I think it's only a matter of time. I think they don't want to mess up the integrity of that third game. But once that's out, hopefully soon, hopefully we get something about that at Celebration. I hope and pray. Please, Lucasfilm, tell us when that third game is coming out at Celebration.
Well, if he's not in Ahsoka season 2, it's like if he's not in Ahsoka season 2, it's like he's got to be in whatever the next, like, whatever the stop they're on is,
Yeah, that dude, you have no idea how much on board with that I am. No idea.
And I think there's things I thought of like a show based on a stormtrooper or something like that. Like more like we actually expand on what I thought Force Awakens was kind of going to be. Or like, there's a couple things I was thinking off the top of my head, but I think the one that's deserved to me is the Cal Kestis live action. Like he's done nothing but like support and love that role and be there for it. And it's like, you can fit this guy in a cameo or like you can get him into a season.
Yeah. I think I truly think that once that third game comes out, I truly think it's only a matter of time.
Yeah. Let's line up the timeline with the third game. Like, get past where we're at.
They wouldn't. There's no reason for them to have modeled his appearance off of the actor, and it's the same. And I think the same thing with oh gosh, what's her name from Battlefront 2?
Versio Iden.
Yeah, because she's modeled off of the actress as well. I'm like, you wouldn't be modeling all of these characters because there's no reason to.
No.
Make them look like the actors unless that was part of the plan.
That aged Kestis in this next game. So if we're going to get that 15-20 year gap, that's going to line up perfectly for where we're at with Ahsoka in the Mando. So it's like we it's just like it's going to be like Spy Kids when he's like, it's the guy, and he like walks out in the shiny armor, and it's going to be Cal Kestis,
What a reference. Wow.
I'm
I
the
love
guy,
that.
man. Elijah
Yeah,
Wood.
but yeah, I mean, I don't think that game's gonna be out in time for Ahsoka season 2. But yeah, I mean, if that in that Dave movie when we're getting our big, when Mando's there and Ahsoka's there, and
Mhm.
you get your Ghost Crew reunion and everybody's there, Bo-Katan, Boba Fett,
Yep.
everybody's there. I would jump out of my chair if Cal Kestis was a part of that. I would
Like, "Y'all need a
flip
hand?"
out.
Homie walks up and was like, "Ah!"
Yeah, yeah. I would be so on board with that. You have no idea.
And I think another thing where I think, like, of that coming in, it's like, I would like to see Purge Troopers in live action Star Wars. Like, I would like to see elements of, the game implemented in live, like the different,
Yeah,
stormtroopers and different variants and things that we have, like, it would be
yeah,
cool to see them come in, but
yeah,
that might be
yeah.
a little too far-fetched for that one.
Hey, I'll take whatever I can get. Cal Kestis. If you're gonna make Cal Kestis stuff, I'm
Yep.
I'm in. But obviously we've been talking about Star Wars for over an hour. Obviously, we are both huge Star Wars fans. I am curious though, what are some fandoms, shows, movies? You've hinted at some stuff a little bit, but outside of Star Wars, what's some stuff that you're a fan of?
Well, I guess for, like, if I'm, like, doing, like, if, like, I do play video games, like, I think off the top of my head, like, some of the Star Wars games and, like, Mass Effect. I was a huge Mass Effect fan growing up, so that was always a big thing for me. When it comes to, like, media, I don't really commit to watching like, I didn't watch Game of Thrones, but I've seen enough clips to where I think I've watched Game of Thrones. So
Yeah,
it's like, I
that's
like to
me
take
too.
it. Yeah, so it's like, I don't commit to a lot of things, but I do really
Yeah,
enjoy, there's a guy on YouTube, his name's Heavy Spoilers, and New Rockstars. They do,
yeah, yeah,
breakdowns
yeah,
of movies and things like that. So if I don't watch the movie or the show, I'll watch the breakdown of
yeah,
scene by scene of them, people talking about it, making references. But so, like, Lord of the Rings, big fan of that. My wife and I, we were watching, Invincible, so, like, that's an animated show. Um,
yeah,
there was a couple other shows we were watching. It's like I kinda like to dabble. Um, but yeah, it's like I think about it, it's like I spend a lot of time with Star Wars, and then it's like The Office, like I
yeah,
go to sleep to The Office every day. That's my
yeah. Good
I
choice.
yep, I
Yeah.
can I can quote it like the Dickens, and then it's like, "Oh,
Oh
it's
yeah.
8:30, 9 o'clock, Office on, I'm going to sleep." So, like, yeah, I feel like there's a lot that I take in, like, I don't watch House of the Dragons, but I was just watching the breakdown on it. I did
Yeah.
really enjoy, A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, like, I did watch that because I heard it was really good. Um, but it's like if people tell me to go out of my way to watch things, like, I will, but, other than that, it's like I usually tend to stick to my lane, and I'm a big history buff, so it's like I'll go watch,
Yeah.
like, Gladiator, or I'll watch,
Yeah. Yeah.
Band of Brothers or something like that.
Yeah. So well now I just have to ask, have you seen the Odyssey?
Yeah. Oh, no, 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 I haven't seen it yet, and
Oh,
I really want to. I watched the breakdown because I don't have an IMAX near me, so shout out. It's like it's like can't see it if I wanted to.
yeah.
But no, I've read the book. I'm a big fan of that stuff, so it's like I really wanted to see it. And it's like all I've heard is good stuff.
You need to I will say, you need to try to see it in a theater of some kind, whether it's IMAX or not. You need to try, because I will say I really enjoyed it. I don't think it's going to translate well to streaming. Like, I don't think it's a good laptop movie.
Hmm. Yeah,
That movie is clearly made to be viewed on the biggest screen possible.
yeah. I mean, the dude made a whole new camera just for that. Like,
Yeah.
insane.
I will say, even if it's not IMAX, I would definitely recommend you go see it in a theater somewhere before it leaves. But yeah, dude, I think you'll if you're a big history guy and you enjoy, mythology and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff, I think you'll dig it. I
It
think
looked
you'll
really
dig
good.
it.
I just keep seeing the meme of, Matt Damon tied to the boat mast when they're
Yeah.
sailing past the sirens.
Yeah. But what's we're back from Rebel Scum Con. We're all kind of trying to, or I know I am trying to, kind of get back in the groove of what's going on. What's the future looking like for you, for your content, for the podcast?
Yeah, I think we get back to, I have every now and then I'll post my card talks where it's like if I have a theory or something come to mind, I'll post that out. Brandon and I are still doing our Sunday podcast at 11 where we talk over everything Star Wars, Lego, all that good stuff. And then as of tomorrow, it'll be my first posting on my YouTube. I'm starting my Thrawn Thursday series, and I haven't figured out how long. If I'm ballsy, I'll do it all the way till Ahsoka season 2 comes out.
Yeah,
But I'm thinking just like every week, I'm gonna ask one overlaying question, and I'm gonna talk about it for 6 minutes. So I may not go like too into depth. So
yeah.
for example, the question for tomorrow will be, is Thrawn the main villain of the New Republic era? And it's like, I'll give you a little
100%.
insight. Yeah, I'll give you a little insight right here, and I'm actually gonna break it into 2 aspects because, for Ahsoka, no, I don't. I do think they're gonna try to implement something with the Mortis arc, or there's gonna
Yeah,
be that underlying factor where it's like, we have to prevent this from getting out. Like, we're not worried about Thrawn
yeah,
because he's not here. Um,
yeah,
but then in the aspect of the Mandoverse, yes, it is Thrawn. Like he's that big bad that's gonna have to implement himself in the galaxy. And so every Thursday again, I'm just gonna do a new question, and then I'll include like if anyone has a question regarding that topic or anything, I'll answer them at the end of the video. But yeah, that's gonna be my first big vlog. I don't know if that's what we call it. Series, I guess. I don't know, new to me. But yeah, that'll be going on every Thursday on my channel on YouTube, and that'll be where we're at for right now.
yeah, yeah. I saw the image of you painted blue.
Brandon, man, I didn't even know he was doing it. He just invited me to the collaboration.
Oh, that's even better. The
Yeah,
fact that you had no clue.
no
That's I
clue.
love it. I love it. But where can people find you, find your stuff, find the podcast, just plug everything?
Yeah, on Instagram, well, usually it's the Boba Fett with 3 T's. You'll find me on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube. I am the Boba Fett, so with 3 E's actually. And then we're actually on Spotify. We're on YouTube with our podcast Clan Fett. So if you look up Clan Fett, my man's got it on the plug. So you can find us just about on all streaming services. You can listen to us. But yeah, we are just a podcast of guys being dudes talking about Star Wars, and we're here, man. So that's really where we're at. And again, I truly appreciate you bringing me on, my man. It was a
Yeah,
pleasure meeting you at Rebel Scum Con. It's one thing to have the interactions online, but getting to meet people face to face and spend time with them and actually get to know them is something else, man. So I truly appreciated that.
yeah, man. Like I say, it definitely should have happened sooner.
Nah, no stress,
um,
man.
it was actually supposed to happen right before the end of year one of the show, and some stuff happened and had to get moved around and whatever. Scheduling is fun, but I'm glad that we were finally able to do it, and kick off the second year of the show, and just do it with somebody that's become a good brother. So
Yeah.
but follow John. You saw it on the screen a minute ago. Check out Clan Fett every Sunday at 11 Central Time. Follow me, Limitless_Nerd, pretty much everywhere. We've swapped the logo. We're not blue
I
anymore. We're
see that.
red
I was
this
gonna
year.
say. I
We're
love it.
switching it up a little bit, but still the same logo, same place, new color. That's all that's different. But we're gonna keep rolling with these podcasts. Hopefully every other week, if not more. Luckily, like we've talked about, we met so many people at Rebel Scum Con that I should not have a problem filling the schedule for the foreseeable future, with more friends, more creators, and maybe maybe some other big guests coming.
Yeah,
You
we'll
never
see.
know.
Yeah,
You never know. I know, but you don't know. But
we'll be here
stick
for it.
around, and we'll be around for all of it. We'll see you in April at Celebration and back at Scum Con. But John, thank you so much for being here, dude.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you for having me, dude. Pleasure.
And until next time, may the force be with you.